Hey everybody, it's Cody here from Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly. I am joined by none other than Percy Drews. I am going to ask him a few questions, but before I do that, please smash that thumbs up. Down there in the corner is a red button that says subscribe. If it's red, you haven't subscribed. What are you doing? Hit the red button, subscribe, and then right next to that, there's a bell. Click that as well. That bell allows you to be notified when the awesome content comes to the Rasslin Rage channel. And lastly, all the audio content will be available on Podbean. That's right, Podbean. Check the description down below for a link to the Podbean where you'll find Rasslin Rage, MIW, interviews, and all the awesome audio content from this channel. It's going to be amazing stuff. Now, Percy Drews, you are a very popular person. I don't know if you know this, but you are, because a lot of people have been getting at me and be like, dude, you got to interview Percy Drews. Dude, you got to interview Percy Drews. Dude, you got to. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this now. So you're popular and people want to hear from you. How are you doing, first of all?
Well, I don't know who's telling you to interview me, but is it just like one group of people?
Well, it's a few people actually. I mean,
Okay, just the same few people just telling you over and over and over again.
Yeah, they really want to hear from Percy Drews.
I guess so. I didn't know I was that popular.
Well, you are. And one of my co-hosts, Josh, he's a huge Percy Drews fan, and he was so excited when he found out that he was doing the whole happy dance, man. He was
He was being a fanboy. He was fanboying about it.
Yeah, he was. But how are you doing, sir?
Well, right now I'm tired, exhausted. I feel old because my birthday's coming up. Like, you'd be surprised. Aches and pains from doing all these whole slam shows that they're doing. So yeah, just living, I guess, and trying to not spend all my money.
That's kind of hard to do nowadays. So during the, I guess, stay at home, because now everything's starting to open back up and people are starting to go back to work and what have you, were you an essential worker during the time?
I laugh at it, but yeah, so I've been working legit, except I am gonna complain about this because I think this is weird and kind of dumb. So, you probably don't know, but Congo Kong is one of my trainers.
Okay.
And he lives in Indiana, and obviously I live in Ohio. So I have to go to Indiana for training sometimes.
Okay.
And one time at my job, I was being honest with them, and I was like, hey, I'm going out of state for training. And they were like, oh, we're going to have to give you 2 weeks off because the governor said, you go out of state, you have to quarantine yourself. And so I didn't work for like 2 weeks. But other than that, I worked every Monday through Thursday.
That's crazy. So just because you went to training, you got 2 weeks off?
Yeah, 2 weeks off, no pay. Didn't bother me because I had a crap ton of money anyway.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, tell us a little bit more about your training with Congo Kong.
I actually didn't originally train with Congo. I trained in Ohio at Rockstar under Dave Chris. I've been training under Congo for a little bit now.
Well, that's awesome.
He considers me a stray. Like, I was a dog that he didn't want, but he thought was cute. Oh. So he just keeps petting me once in a while.
Lord. So you get in there with Kong, and you're working on your career now. Are you training currently, or have you been taking some time away so that you don't have to be quarantined for 2 weeks?
Well, honestly, I mean, whenever he messages me and we find a date, I train with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. But I've been getting messages from wrestlers that are doing outside shows. So been doing the outside shows and stuff for right now.
Well, that's cool, because that's, just kind of starting here. and now we're allowed to do outdoor shows of up to 100 people while practicing social distancing here
I mean,
in the
it's kind
state.
of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, I know there was a friends and family undisclosed location show over the weekend, and I hear there's a show coming up this weekend. I believe
Yeah,
it's the 6th. Yeah, the
I'll be
6th.
at I'll be at the sixth show.
Will you really? I didn't know.
I will be there.
Oh,
Yeah, I was at the
nice.
last show. I was
Really?
at the last. Yeah, I
Interesting.
was told to not wear my new gear.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I bought new gear, and here's the origin story. So, favorite animal is a tiger. Been obsessed with tigers, and I was like, I want to get orange and black gear, and I bought it in like February before all this COVID hit and stuff.
Right.
And then when the COVID hit, Tiger King became super popular, became super like mainstream. Carol Baskin did it. Joe's Free Joe Exotic, and I didn't get the gear till about the end of April. So I got it now, and I was like, well, I can't really debut it without people referencing me to Tiger King now, even though I bought it like in February.
Right.
So like they told me not to wear it because it looks pretty sick. And it's like they were like, that's more DVD live show arena gear.
Okay.
And they were like, and also I don't want to get a dirty because I'll be real. I'll take many bumps on the outside. That does not bother me. But once that gear is dirty, I'm complaining.
Right, right.
I'm complaining. Like, I don't want to get that gear dirty at all.
Right. Well, I want to ask some questions about how you, so we know that you train with Congo. You were trained originally by the Chris, right? Dave Chris.
Yeah.
And then, so how have you always been a wrestling fan and then you sought out to go training, or like, how did it work out? Tell us how you became like obsessed. Obviously you have to be a wrestler, because I mean, you practice and then your whole weekend's wrestling basically. So
this is my little journey. It's a long story. I'm going to sum it up.
okay.
So like, I didn't know what wrestling was until like 2000, I say early 2008.
Okay.
Me and my brother were just scrolling through the TVs on a Friday night, and we saw SmackDown, and I got hooked on Rey Mysterio, and I was just a huge Rey Mysterio fan. And then like all of 2008 on, I just watched WWE. I became fans of like Rey Mysterio, John Cena. I made a character in the video games, and I was John Mysterio. And I was like, if I was ever a wrestler, my name would be John Mysterio, as a homage to two of my favorite wrestlers. And then like I started adapting to like old wrestling. So I started watching like 90s stuff. And then it became a Rock fan, a Stone Cold fan. And then throughout the years, I always loved the fact that wrestling has adapted, honestly, to like, it is more athletic now. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Being in shape and stuff. And me now is I like the wrestling now compared to the old days, in my opinion.
Okay.
And that might trigger a lot of people. You know, right. A lot of people can be like, "Oh,
right.
This era was better than this era." But I don't know. I just like wrestling in general. I like the different content that's there now. Because like growing up, for me, it was just straight WWE. And then it wasn't until like, I think like 2010, 11, or 12, I started watching TNA. And then I knew WWE and TNA. And then like the wrestlers that would flip-flop between both promotions. And then knowing about the smaller promotions, like the independent promotions, like where Seth Rollins came from, Daniel Bryan came from, like ROH, OVW, like all these like super big indie promotions.
Right.
And then I was like, well, I want to become a wrestler. So then around 2016, I am honest about it. I did a combat zone tryout with no experience at all, like never stepped foot in the ring, and I got my ass destroyed. And I wrestled Dave that day, and he kicked my ass. But I was doing super good with him feeding me stuff to do with no experience at all, no
Right.
experience. And then from 16 on, I was training, but I was also going to college. So I would do like a couple of trainings, go back to college for like 4 to 5 months, come back, rinse and repeat for a couple of years. And then it wasn't until 18 where my best friend, Riley Rose, I don't know if you've heard of him or
Sounds
not.
familiar.
Yeah. He was at the Whole Slam show.
Okay. Yep.
On January. He could thank me. He could thank me on that. Truth be told. I started training with him where he trained at. And some heat happened because they didn't like me and him doing a Japan style match. They were all like 80 styles. And like, I don't want to, no offense, but like, I don't like doing the same stuff over and over again in every match.
Right.
And like that training was like really like that. It was like the same thing over and over. Every match was like the same, rinse and repeat over and over again.
Right.
So I left, and I came back to Rockstar permanently. Kept training there, and then around April of last year, I got my first ever live match in West Virginia. Yep, I was in a battle royal. Nothing too fancy, but ever since then, been getting booked everywhere.
Yeah, man. Well, and you're at XICW up here, and I mean, XICW here in Michigan's basically like that's it, right? I mean, that's not the only promotion in Michigan, but XICW is the promotion. It's XICW. It's the biggest promotion in Michigan with the most history, with 19 years.
Yeah.
The Godfather DBA runs. So, but I've seen you in other places. We've seen you at Horror Slam, like you said, which is another Michigan organization. We've seen you, I believe we've seen you at Pro Wrestling All Stars too, have we not?
Yes, you have.
That's what I thought. And there's maybe other ones that I don't even, maybe Metro Pro.
Yep, been on Metro Pro.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where else, but because those are like the main ones that I kind of go to. But that's good stuff, man. And we see you on a lot of flyers because you're not, you work in Michigan, but you're down. It's like you said, you're down in Ohio, so you're kind of all over the place, right? Now, right now, is it in Ohio or that you're doing a lot of the outdoor shows, or where's that happening at?
It's actually in Michigan.
I'm only familiar with like Cedar Point area down there, really. Because
isn't that Sandusky?
Yeah, that is Sandusky.
Yeah, that's up there, ain't it?
Yeah, but that's basically all I'm really familiar with as far as Ohio goes. 75 into Sandusky or however you get there. That's all.
I can tell you right now, Highway Route 70 is becoming my best friend. I know that road in and out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you do a lot of traveling here to Michigan. How much driving do you do in a weekend? If you're booked Saturday, well, let's think about this, because sometimes you're probably booked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right?
Yeah.
How much driving do you do in a weekend if you're booked all weekend?
It depends on like where I'm at. So like let's just say, because I get booked a lot in West Virginia too.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, so if I have a show in Michigan on Friday, I would go up and then I would drive back down, because there's no point in me staying in Michigan if the show the next day has me just going through dates anyway.
Right.
So like, I would just be like, okay, I'll go home, and then I'll drive another 3 hours or so to this other show, and then drive back.
Right.
So like, my house is the middle point.
Right.
It's always like the centerfold.
How did you get in with West Virginia, man?
West Virginia was where I had my first match. There was I don't know if you ever heard of him, but a wrestler named Christian Cobain. He me and him trained together, so he would have gotten me matches in West Virginia.
Oh wow.
So like, I would drive with him down there, and I would get matches. And then after a while, promoters down there were messaging me, and they were like, "Hey, can you come down?" I'm like, "Yeah, just give me the address.
Nice.
I'll tell you if my call can make it or not." That's what I do.
If my car can make it or not.
Yeah. Well, back then I had a crappy car. Like, I always had to like check the tire pressures. I had to always check oil in it, and it was like gotten to the point where like, if the show was like 5, 6, 7, or 8 hours away, I'm like, my car might break down. I don't know if I can make it home.
Right. So,
and then I'm like, oh, so what?
No, I was gonna ask. So now that we're getting back to wrestling, and you're getting back in there, and right now you're working the outdoor shows, and like you said, you're in mostly Michigan. But what are you looking to do here in the future as far as your career goes? Right, because you said you're what, like a year now, 2 years?
Yeah, I'm 1 year in.
1 year
match
in.
right.
Wow, man, I thought it was a little bit longer than that.
No. No.
All right. Well, so what are you looking to do here? Is there things you're looking to improve on? What places you're looking to branch out at? Different things.
Honestly, why now? So my end goal is to be in New Japan as a cruiserweight. Like, yeah, to be part of the cruiserweight division. That's my ultimate goal, because Japan, oh my God, the creative freedom in every one of the matches. Like, every one of the matches are always like 20 minutes or something.
Right.
Like, that's so much time. And like, knowing that after watching a whole pay-per-view, knowing that like each match is that long, it's like they all get that much creative freedom to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would want that. I would want that creative freedom, knowing that like, hey, I can bust my ass for 30 minutes and have a good match.
Well, that's a good thing to strive for, though, man. I think so.
Yeah. And I'm also one to, like, if I do get that goal, and it's like I have to go through training again, like that wouldn't bother me at all.
Right.
Because it's their style. And same with like Mexico too, because luchadors have a different style.
Yeah.
So like, if it got into the point where like, if I get booked in Mexico and I have to go through training all over again, like that wouldn't bother me in any way, because that would just make me better in front of a new crowd that I want to try to impress.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, that's some good talking right there. I like that. Now, XICW. We've seen you in XI before, but there's one thing that XICW does that's one of the things that I really like, and that's called Proving Ground, or Wrestling with a Vet, which is part of Proving Ground. Is Wrestling with a Vet something that you see in your future, or something that you would like to do in your future?
I would like to do it. Honestly, I would.
Yeah, I mean, the Suplex Shogun Jackson Stone is one of the vets right now, with his rookie Sean Tyler, who really isn't a rookie, but he's a rookie to XICW. But he he's a signed Impact star. And
I haven't saw him yet. I want to know what they're gonna do with him.
He's a good dude, man. He's a really good guy. He's been on the show 3 or 4 times now, man. Good dude.
I love him. I'm thankful that he got it.
Yeah, absolutely. XICW is a different kind of crowd and even a different kind of organization in my view. In my personal opinion, it's probably one of the only places I get to go to here that I'm able to be myself completely 100% and not hold back. And I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I can't wait to see you come back. And we're looking at coming to this show Saturday. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna have to get a hold of Rachel and see what's happening and get down.
Tell her that good old Percy Drews sent you.
All right, I will. I'll be like, I interviewed Percy tonight, and that dude said I need to get a hold of you. He said he sent me. And I'll tell you.
Oh, she'll love that. Yeah. She'll message me and tell me about it, and I'll be like, I got your back, Rachel. I got your back. I always do.
Right on. Now, we are going to wrap this up, but before I do that, I want to let everybody know that is watching or who has watched or what have you. Down in the description, you will be able to find his social media links. Okay, and you can click those, just click right on them and head on over there and like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is, whatever platform it is, whatever they have, twat, whatever. I don't know. Anyways.
Do you think I got a twat? I don't know. You think that's a social media? I do have a TikTok though.
You do have TikTok?
I do. They're not the best videos because like I want someone to record me doing it, but no one, I don't want to be like, hey, record me do this dance. That's going to take like 15 seconds.
Right.
And then you have to, and then if the timing's off, you have to over it and over it and over it over again. Like, there's no way people get it right the first time.
Right. Absolutely.
There's no way.
Right. No. I'm not a TikTok. That's showing my age here.
TikTok.
Right. TikTok, right? I have a TikTok, but it's just wrestling stuff, like of other wrestlers doing stuff, like moves, and that's it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. But that's about it, man. But I do want to say thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget, we will be seeing you soon, hopefully. Horror or not, it's not Horror Slam. It's I forget who it is. I forget what it says though. It says something.
Something about the police or something.
Yeah, something about police. Popos. Woo, 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 woo.
Popos. I'll be
right,
the whole.
So, thank you again, and make sure you guys follow him on his social media. Percy Drews, my brother. Thank you.
Yep, hot Percy Drews. Don't forget it.
Hot Percy Drews. Hot.
Later, my man.
This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. Scream it out loud. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man.